Welcome to Vietnam, a place of delicate beauty and bold flavors, of emerald mountains and golden coastlines, of stories whispered in the hum of scooters and sung in the steam of street food stalls. A country where the past lingers in every alley and the present pulses with color and life. In this episode of One Week, One Country, we journey through Vietnam from north to south. From the mythic waters of Ha Long Bay to the glowing charm of Hoi An, through imperial cities and jungle caves to the vibrant chaos of Ho Chi Minh City.
This is your immersive guide to 7 days of wonder, culture, food, and connection in Vietnam. And it all begins where the dragons sleep in the bay.
Your first morning in Vietnam begins on water. In Ha Long Bay, you board a wooden junk boat and set sail between towering limestone cliffs rising from the sea. The bay holds secrets in its stillness. There are caves carved by time and coves only reachable by kayak. You drift past floating villages where homes balance gently on the tide and children wave from wooden porches. Meals are shared on deck as the sky turns gold and then indigo.
Dinner is a feast of grilled squid, steamed shrimp with lemongrass, and fluffy rice wrapped in banana leaves. End with sweet coconut jelly beneath the stars. Ha Long means descending dragon. Legend tells of dragons who leapt from the sky, creating the bay's jagged cliffs to protect the land from invaders. Book a mid-range overnight cruise with meals and kayaking, included for around £90 to £120. It's an unforgettable start to your journey.
Today you arrive in Hanoi, a city where time folds in on itself. Streets hum with scooters and bells. Temples sit beside cafes and every sidewalk is a theater. Wander the Old Quarter, a patchwork of 36 ancient trades. Stop at silk streets, silver alleys and spice stalls. Sit by Hoan Kiem Lake, where lovers stroll and elders practice Tai Chi. In the evening, find a theater and watch water puppets dance across the surface, telling folk tales older than the city itself.
Picture a steaming bowl of pho with those delicate thin beef slices and bursts of fresh basil. Or, maybe a crusty banh mi packed with pickled vegetables and creamy pate. Oh, and here's a fun fact. Hanoi's name actually means city in a river's bend. Its famous water puppet tradition started in flooded rice fields over 1,000 years ago. And if you want to get around, just use the Grab app. It's honestly super easy and affordable. Exploring the Old Quarter, whether you're on foot or hopping on a scooter, should cost less than £10.
Just a few hours south, you'll find Ninh Binh, often called Ha Long Bay on land. Here, rivers wind between jagged peaks, and those bright green paddies just seem to stretch on forever. Imagine gliding through the Tam Coc Valley in a tiny boat, rowed by feet instead of hands. The cliffs rise above you, kind of like sleeping dragons, while lotus flowers bloom quietly along the banks. By bike, you can explore hidden temples and peaceful pagodas. And at Biche Dong, you climb stone steps right into a cave where incense burns and the wind carries those ancient prayers.
You've got to try the grilled goat with galangal and sesame served with rice in clay pots and fresh local herbs straight from the fields. Here's a fun tidbit. Some scenes from the film Kong Skull Island were actually filmed in Ninh Binh's surreal landscape. If you're planning your trip, group day tours from Hanoi cost around £25 to £35. Or, just rent a bike and wander freely through the countryside.
Fly south to Hoi An, where time seems to breathe slower. The old town glows yellow and soft blue, lanterns drift in the air, and every street corner hides a story. Wander beneath tiled rooftops, visit ancient merchant houses, and have a tailor sew you a dress or suit in just a day. As night falls, ride a boat down the Thu Bon River and release a lantern of your own.
Khao lao noodles, thick and chewy with slices of barbecue pork, crisp herbs and crunchy croutons, or white rose dumplings, delicate and filled with shrimp. Hoi An's name means peaceful meeting place. It once welcomed ships from China, Japan and Europe, and you'll feel that blend in every detail. Stay at least 2 nights to enjoy the slower pace. Street food and river dinners rarely cost more than £2 or £3.
A short drive takes you to Hue, Vietnam's imperial city. Once the seat of emperors, its grandeur lingers in faded bricks and ancient gardens. Step through the Noon Gate into the imperial citadel where pavilions whisper of ceremonies and rebellions. Visit Thien Mu Pagoda beside the Perfume River, then drift by dragon boat to the royal tombs.
Bun Bo Hue, that's a spicy beef noodle soup with lemongrass and this deep chili warmth. It's usually served with a squeeze of lime, some banana blossom, and a handful of fresh herbs. Hu's cuisine, you know, was shaped by royal chefs who created literally hundreds of dishes for the Nguyen emperors. And honestly, many of them are still served today in these elegant little portions. The train from Da Nang to Hue, by the way, hugs the coastline and gives you these absolutely stunning sea views. A soft seat costs around £10.
Today is all about the road. You'll journey along the Hoi An Pass, which is basically a ribbon of asphalt winding between the sea and the sky. It's considered one of the most scenic drives in Southeast Asia, honestly. Make a stop at Mai Khe Beach for a swim, and then climb up the Marble Mountains to discover hidden shrines tucked inside limestone caves. At the top, just pause for a moment and watch Da Nang glimmering beneath you.
Grilled scallops with scallion oil and peanuts, served fresh by the beach. Or, you know, maybe a bubbling seafood hot pot with herbs and a squeeze of lime. The Marble Mountains are named after 5 elements: earth, fire, water, metal, and wood. And each one hides sacred chambers and statues. Here's a little tip. Hire a local driver with a jeep or scooter for a personal tour. You can expect to pay somewhere between £15 to £25.
End your journey in Ho Chi Minh City, once called Saigon, where energy runs through the streets like an electric current. Visit the War Remnants Museum for a powerful lesson in history. Admire the Central Post Office, designed by Eiffel himself. And wander Ben Than Market and find treasures hidden among the chaos.
Com tam with grilled pork, fried egg, and pickled veg. Or, you know, crispy spring rolls dipped in spicy nuoc cham sauce. Here's a fun fact. Vietnam is the world's second largest coffee exporter. Don't leave without sipping café soda, strong iced coffee with sweet condensed milk. And a quick travel tip. Use offline maps and walk with confidence. The scooters will flow around you like a river.
In 1 week, you have walked among dragons, glided through caves, tasted 100 flavors, and heard the songs of old dynasties. Vietnam will stay with you in the way warm broth lingers on the tongue and stories echo long after the telling. Which moment stayed with you the longest? The Golden Bay at sunrise or the quiet river of lanterns? Let us know in the comments.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an episode of 1 Week, 1 Country. Until next time, keep your heart open and your suitcase ready.